Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Hello? Is this working now? Yes, this is working now. Good evening. Yeah, just when you thought you tried and tested everything, but then nothing happens. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to our dear friend Jerry. He told me he would be here today. I asked him about 10 hours ago where he would be, and he said, yes, I'm okay for tonight. I jokingly said, well, let's hope he's not being caught by the comfy chair. I think he's gotten by the comfy chair. Maybe. Jerry, if you're awake, Discord's open. You can come in at any time. If you're having a good night's sleep, sleep well. Hello, Zoidpeter, Jeebezab, Wonky Goblin, Denley, and Jill. Welcome. Sad news this evening. Ozzy Osbourne has left the building. Yeah, didn't look very healthy on his last gig 3 weeks ago, and now he's gone. That's very sad news, but can't be helped, can it? Hello, Zork. 76 years isn't that old, but then given his lifestyle, I feel he went on longer than I would have guessed. Hello, Hazy Boy, welcome. As I was just saying to my wife, when I've watched the Osbournes way back when on MTV in, what was it, mid-90s, he already looked very unhealthy at times. Well, no point in hulking, I guess. He's gone. Same as Lemmy, Rob, and many others. So, yeah, he did go until the very end. Hello, Crispins. Yeah, if you've not seen the very last show of Ozzy 3 weeks ago, the concert, I'd advise you not to watch it. Not because it's bad, but because he already looks very tired. And no, if you want a really good last video of him and the band, go hunt down the video of the concert, the end that they did 3 years ago. That was a really good concert. Yeah, Rolling Stones, I think they will surpass every one of us. So, here's to past musicians we miss dearly. Well, that being said, it's summertime. It seems like the miniature manufacturers are short on releases. I think, personally, for me, the biggest news out there, which most of you probably have guessed by now, is that Tom has really managed to up the OTT website. It's working. There's still a tiny flaw in the weird, whatchamacallit, comment system when this weird JavaScript pop-up fail load error message coming for you, but everything else works great. Evil Daystar, yeah, that's the one that's causing all the trouble currently. So let's see, where's my thingamajig? I do know I had some notes. Where's my notes? My notes have vanished. Oh no. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, hang on. It's not like I didn't have time to prepare or anything. I just completely am on a holiday mode. Where did I want to go? Was it this? No, wrong. Let's go here. Was it this? I might be wrong. No. Yeah, this is not. Brain rot setting in. That's not the one. Fucking hell, where did I leave my notes? I know I have put them somewhere. Is it this? Nah, that's not it either. Fucking hell. I should really keep up my stuff. I think I have it. And then we go here and there. Yep. Yep, that doesn't help. Nope, we just have to wing it. Yeah, it's one of those days, James. You're totally right. It's just, well, so I would like, if I may, and probably put a little fire to some already burning fuel drums. Have you looked at the what do they call it? Sorcery Tiburu dungeon stuff. I'd like to hear about your opinions on that. My opinion is a very simple one. The game is a board game. It requires the app to run, so fuck no, I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. No idea what you're talking about. So there's a review and a let's play for a new upcoming GameFound game on the OTT website, which is basically a board game with an app that's mandatory. Deep itself, I don't think the taboo index has anything to do with that, but I'm not quite sure. So your mileage may vary. So if you haven't seen it, obviously you can't have any opinions on it, but since the app is mandatory, it's yeah, good luck playing that game in 5 to 10 years, or offline for that matter, because that's a thing that has been talked about on the GameFound FAQ for the game. At least as I have seen, they at least they do say, yeah, you need the app. But I don't think they have mentioned the fact that they need a constant data connection. Let me just take a look at the FAQ. Do I need an internet connection to play? Is not required locally. If more devices are involved, a local Wi-Fi is an internet connection is only required to download the app and play remotely. Okay. So at least that's the thing. Yes, you can have opinions if you haven't seen them, Dutch, but those opinions are like not valid or something. I'm not having uninformed opinions on the stream, unless those are mine. Yeah, the team does a good advert for the game, but yeah, it's not just the fact that you have a an app you need to use, but you have the core pledge that is basically the base game, if you will. That's 95 euros. But if you want to have the base game and 3 additional adventures, you're already at 220 euros for a fucking board game. I'm not sure Jerry's still filming. I'm guessing he fell asleep on the comfy chair. Yes. 95 for the base and 220 for base game and 3 adventures. Crispin, when is ever the time to spend money willy-nilly? Actually, never. Yeah, Nick, I can see that. And a very easy example is 5 Minute Dungeon. If you've ever played 5 Minute Dungeon, it's a nice, quick little board/cardy game. You can use their countdown timer app because it's funny voiced, but you can just use any old countdown timer to measure time. So, whatever. Dutch, you have to ask the makers why 3 expansions go for 135 euros. I have no clue. I see James has stumbled across the price tagging system. What do you need 2 homes for, Crispin, my friend? I can't even afford first one. Or is it the first is paid off and now you are living in the next bigger one and the other one is sold off and your business? Oh, inherited. Okay. Okay. Now I see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's always a can be a trap. Inheriting stuff. Nick can barely pay off a tent. Well, but I'm pretty sure you can pitch a tent. Well, at least that's a thing your daughter will have for future reference and not future reference for staying somewhere and being safe, because if you own your own home, usually if you don't take a loan on it, that's something to fall back on every time. The GameFound version of Agricola has the price for the most expensive board game. I'm dreading to look. Yeah, that's basically it, Crispin. Especially in modern days. Why in modern days? If you got a home to yourself, if you own the ground that's the home is sitting on, and you have plonked solar panels all over the roof, you're pretty much good to go. The only thing you need is a fresh water supply. And depending on where you live, that's not the biggest factor of cost. So, yeah. And if you got enough space in your backyard, you can even have a garden and reduce your groceries. But then again, you see, Dutch, but a deluxe version of any board game is exactly that. It's a deluxe version, so it's nothing you need to play the game. It's always uh, basically a luxury item. You don't need it. You can just buy any other version of Catan, like that one. Dutch, I would kindly refer you to a friend of mine who's living in the greater area of Hamburg, and they do around 50% of their current electricity on solar panels, and it's only 50% because they live in a rented house and they don't have the what you call it, the permit to put on full size solar panels on the roof. So yes, even in our climate and the modern solar panels, you can actually make a great difference on your electricity bill. I'm pretty sure, Crispin, that Texas would just be the perfect spot for it. Uh, just to be happen, what this guy called? There's a YouTuber doing retro electronics in the area of Texas. Hold on a sec. Uh, just making sure that I don't get his name wrong. That's the wrong one. The 8-bit guy. That's the one. If you go to the 8-bit guy on YouTube, he has made some nice videos on how he's set up his home and his little shed he uses for content creation to make him not be reliable on the grid. So he learned lessons from the outages of the past few years. So he now is more or less able to sustain. What did I think he said? 2 days, 3 days. Oh, that sounds about a fucking lot Celsius. I think that's about 33, 35 degrees Celsius. So way past comfortable levels. Yeah, James, but would you really want all the filthy animals of on tablettops sit together on a crowded island? Hello, Mr. Evokebab. Welcome. Deadly, I think if your battery and panels in your house still suffers when there's a power cut, there's probably some delay in switching. So depending on how professionally that setup is, you might have a problem at that point. But I'm not an electrician. You might go ask bigclive.com for that. I'm pretty sure the Americans keep Fahrenheit as a scale because it sounds too much like fart. That is true. I never was to any boot camps, which is a shame, and well, can't be helped. James Katz is struggling about anything above 21 degrees. I'm not sure if this will show up. 28 degrees currently inside this room. James, you might be careful with that acronym. Crispin might take it to a different direction. Technically, she's correct. England is still part of continental Europe, even though it's not part of the European Union. Actually, I'm rather scared to meet any of you lot in person, because then you might actually try to do what Jerry always tells people to do. Try to cut them. Oh, fucking spam bot. You can go... how do I do that? Ban! Go and fuck yourselves. Oh, let me just hint you lot at something I'm working on. Look! Oh no, wrong side. Look! Your guess is on a postcard what that is. Or what that will become, potentially. Avid readers of the forums on Deputy Tops will know what it is. No, that's a mini disc. Mini disc is way smaller. How small do you think my hands are? Weird people? Mini disc. It's one of those, you know, burnable CDs. Well, technically, it's a disc that's read by a laser. That's correct, but it's not a mini disc. Crispin might give you things you don't want, Nick. I'm still in the city of Oldenburg, which is about 50 kilometers west of Bremen. Hard to miss. Mini disc players actually were a very good piece of tech for their time, and yeah, sadly not used to the degree they could have been. The city kind of stole their thunder. Excuse me. Newcastle is around 1,000 years old, but I don't know how old this town is, but I think we're about the 850, 900 mark. Let me just see. So the first record mentioning this little town is from 1108. So, yep, 900 years. 900 plus years. Nice, James. Bot reporting is very nice. I'm always astounded why they would wander in and go at like, oh, do you want more subscribers? No, I don't. I like the ones I have. Nick, I find your plan is a wee bit lacking, how to put it, biological uh, realization. I think that's I don't know. Thanks for the sub giving, Mr. James Scott. Yeah, even if that's a century later, that's the first document that's recalling to any part of things. So there might have been something before that. We don't know. Worth a shot. Well, you give it your best shot, and I will name the baby. If we all believe in it. Uh, uh, I think the most closest thing we could get to we will just force it to existence by a sheer will is if we would do something like a what you call it, um not a crowdfunding, but you know what I mean, some gathering of funds. Oh, a fuck done lot. And if you really fundraiser, that's the word I was looking for. If you really wanted to do something like that, you might be better off doing a fundraiser on any different site that's not taking as much of a cut as Twitch does. So get more bang for your buck on different platforms. Nope, Crispin, never. A, it's way too expensive. B, it's 900 kilometers south. C, the beer is horrible. D, it's full of Bavarians. That's even worse. And now it's no. That's just not happening. Never. I don't think GoFundMe lets you do that on just these things. I'm not sure about how much of a cut Kickstarter or crowdfunding is taking, but I think those platforms would be more eligible. I'm not sure a hot tub would be seaworthy for that, James. I doubt it. Technically, getting a wee bit more serious now, since our beloved Chancellor Matt is now over at the UK and is in talks about a friendship between England and Germany, there might actually be a possibility to be more easily getting to England again. But that's future talks. And maybe in 10 years there will be a direct train line. However, they are planning to do that is beyond my thinking, but whatever appeases the press, I guess. I'm not sure I'm on good terms with Business Daddy at the moment, Crispin. uh, yeah, Heresy Andy is on GoFundMe, and he's not asking people for money to get anywhere to have a luxury life. He's asking to keep him out of jail, basically, with the money they sent him. Well, technically, we already own half of England because the royals are basically Germans by this point. We only need a little bit more leeway on your parliament, and then that's a very secret. It's a secret invasion, but shh, don't tell anybody. And yeah, Steven Sub, I've kept my ears to Andy's stories and what he's telling people on Facebook and on his GoFundMe, and I really don't want to switch with him. Oh, Redworth, that stung. There used to be hundreds of flights a day between England and Germany, but they stopped mid 1945. The weird part is prior to the event, aka Corona and all these things, a good friend of mine was regularly taking these very cheap flights to England for a weekend or something. But the very moment I thought, oh, I could use one of those to attend anything on over at Peace of War, they cancelled all the shit, or at least to where I was going to go, and that was the end of that. Yes, I am, James. And somewhere in my in the what the Americans call the master bedroom, there's a ring with my insignias. The family, what they're called, crest. I don't know. Words elude me. It's too warm. I'm too much on leave on holiday. And I'm very happy that I put the beer can in the freezer. It's pretty much that Dutch. COVID was a worldwide collaboration to keep me from coming over Ireland. To claim my rightful throne as being the pandanza. But, well, shit. I am now in my second week of holiday, and next week will be a holiday for me as well. So 3 weeks of holiday in a row. That being said, I had a call from work today. Luckily, that was resolved within 10 minutes of work. So just a slight interruption. So, we can't just rant about weird stuff here now. This is terrible stuff. Don't we have? Oh, hang on. I have an idea. It's a terrible idea, but it's an idea, and I have it. Let's see if I can make this work. Oh, see, yeah, there's the Frostgrave 2nd Edition Special Edition that's coming around, which looks rather lovely, but since it's in English, I don't want it. Is there anything new? Who knows? All news. There's all news. Games Workshop does stuff. Who cares? Games Workshop does more stuff. Still, nobody cares. Okay, some kind of new Battletech lens that nobody has heard anything about. Who cares about that? Really seems to be a very dry run week this week. Well, shame. Shame. Oh, Jill, that's sad to hear. I hope that you're nothing too serious. Operation Sea Otter, get him to the UK Games. If I'm at the UK Games Expo, I might be tempted to sit in the fish tank with Jerry and Warren, and that might bring up a whole another can of cross-continental stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a fish tank. Isn't there the media tank every year at UK Games Expo? I can give you a hand. You just started sculpting stuff and you're already planning a stand on UKG? You mad? That being said, I'd like to help you out on that. Is that a yes for are you mad or a yes for are you planning a stand? Fair enough. So both. Well, one explains the other. Good night, Dutch. Try not to sweat too much. Why wouldn't they have it next year? I mean, the media center display thingy, I think, is something that's belongs to UK Games Expo, rather the convention center, I think. Would be hard for them to do their job without it, but you might know more than I do, and I will not question you live on stage. That's the spirit, Jill. And if you ever need to rant to rave, rant, vent, rage, or just simply talk silly, DMs are open all the time. Oh, and if Justin comes around at your stand, Mr. Wonky Goblin, don't let him lick any of your tiny little goblins. Yes, do what makes you happy and get better. And I'm not sure who this quote is actually from, but nobody's getting out alive, so enjoy the ride. James is putting me to shame here. A micro mini. That being said, Wonky Goblin, if you're that mad and you've already tried to, already toying with the idea of going to UK Games Expo, setting up a table there, and putting out your stuff, I dare you to come to the Hamburg Taktika next year. I'm not sure if the theme will actually work in your favor. I'm not even sure if they have. The homepage is still not updated. Where was it? Save the date. Hamburg Taktika, 28th of February and 1st of March 26. That's the one. So last day of February, first day of March. It's a weekend in Hamburg, and the main theme for this year is they don't say it. Why not? Hold on, but there was a video displaying that. Lodi. Where is it? Hold on. Hmm. Oh yes, it's Japan. Japan/Asia as theme for next year's Hamburg Tactica. That being said, that's only for meant for people building display boards and playing games on it, having a themed board game park. So if you want to be a seller, you might just go out and contact them and go, "Hey, I'm a weird person from the interwebs, and I want a table to do stuff." Maybe they will sit you next to Brother Vinny. He's always sitting there with his small little table in a corner, selling his resin. Yes, Ewok, 76 years old. Well, I technically could, but I'm not sure how long it'll take Twitch to kill the stream because of copyrighted material. So, where is it? So for anybody interested in Hamburg Tactica, this is a link you might want to save for later reference, because the actual Hamburg Tactica homepage and Facebook group isn't what you would call it, updated currently, because they're working on an upgrade, and so news comes from weird sources. That being said, Tactica is always fun. Aussie was actually the first record I bought with my own money way back when. I'm scared to look when that was, but I'll do it anyway. Yep, thought about something like that. 1991. No more tears. And I can't remember which was the first CD I bought. Could be very far behind. But at that time, we still had a record store in the city center, where you just go and browse through large piles of records. I think that's an experience most kids these days are never going to experience, which is just going through physical media, looking at big chunking pieces of vinyl, looking great artwork, and having a good listen in store. No faffing around with any DRMs or stuff. Who didn't, Demon? Who didn't? At least not anybody from that age range. There was a certain term for DJs starting to talk over the songs in the last 3 to 5 seconds, is explicitly for to keep people from recording songs in a pristine condition. So that was on purpose. Get. Well, it doesn't work that way if the DJ starts talking mid close to the end of the song. Would you cut off the song, or you stop him from talking? Very lucky for me, there was a radio station here who did some at Easter, and there was a long weekend of tunes that were selected by the audience, and some of them were played back to back, so there was no interruption via the DJ. So people just sat there constantly hitting record endlessly on tapes. Now, don't get rude. Kids don't know any better, and to be honest, most media doesn't get distributed on via physical media anymore. So even if they want to buy, they can't. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. Yeah, don't stress yourself too much, Goblin. That it's a very crowded exhibition, and it's very hard for newcomers to get in. So you might be lucky. Yeah, Jill, that's exactly. Oh, speaking of buying DVDs, there's a parcel inbound for me because I just went on a teensy wincy used DVD buying spree. Actually, well, I've bought and you'll all be hating me for the DVDs I bought. I bought Highlander. I bought Braveheart. I bought Momo. I bought what was the fourth one? The Goonies, and there was a fifth one. I can't remember. Fuck. What was the fifth one? I need to check. Hold on a sec. My articles. Yes, Never Ending Story, the original recording. So everything for my youth to show my daughter and to watch in bed. Well, let me put it this way, Jill. I have some spindles of these old motherfuckers. I'm not using any DVDs for basing anywhere anytime soon. So I'm sad to see that I'm offending you, but well. Those are not AOL discs. The Never Ending Story soundtrack performed by Lima. I know he was part of a band. I can't remember which name it was. Where was he from? Kajagoogoo, that's the one. So, yeah, that's the same dude. I mean, to be fair, from all the movie adaptations they did for the Never-Ending Story, the first one is still the most book accurate. And it was the first movie I saw before reading the actual book. That's when I felt a wee bit betrayed by the movie. Don't even bother watching the second or third. I think there's even the fourth one. That's just horrible. But what movie I'm really looking forward is Goonies. I think I need a good laugh with Goonies. And if you don't like the Goonies, you're not allowed to be on this stream. Yes, Jill, exactly. There's only 3 good Indiana Jones movies. I have to say though, I somehow like the TV series with young Indiana Jones. That was very very odd, but very interesting to a degree. Of course, there's only one The Crow movie. What you're talking about? It's isn't it horrible how uh some movies are just getting slaughtered by their sequels. It's just why even try? The new one's better than Crystal Skull. Well, Wonky, that's a fairly low bar to beat. I mean, I didn't mind Crystal Skull because I already knew it would be a total train wreck. But I just love Harrison Ford. He just he doesn't care. He just does his thing. No, I still need to watch that at some point in time when it's on any streaming service. I'm not paying money for that. Oh, and speaking of movies not to pay money for, um, what was it called? Moonfall? I think it was Moonfall. Let me just double check. Yeah, Moonfall. If you come across that thing on any streaming service, avoid. It's just silly. Of course, there can be only one Highlander movie because he gets the prize after he kills the baddie. So, yes, Jill, that's the Hellberry one. And if they hadn't written her name on the credits, I would not have recognized her, to be honest. And I have no clue what whoever the other actors are. Apart from the very short appearance of what's his face, Mr. Sutherland. I have no clue who all the people are. Nope, nope. Looking at the short list of appearances, and nope. Donald Sutherland, yes, I know him. Per Hellberry, I know that name, but everything else, no. The old man Donald, sitting in a wheelchair, being an old NASA executive, who then literally bites the bullet. So after presenting Hailberry a very disturbing secret from way back when, it's just Well, Jill, somebody needs to go watch the new Highlander to tell us how bad it is. Catwoman, yeah, the movie where mankind, and we're stressing the man on that word, was hoping for interesting shots of her in interesting clothing, which didn't happen. I feel my favorite Batman characters, villains and heroes, are the 60s show. That's just that's how I grew up. The Flintstones wasn't that bad, I think. Can't remember. At least it was properly colorful. Yeah, that might be Demon's Up, but I like the cartoony humor on the 60s series more than the animated grungy 90s comics series. I mean, come on. Having two not very ripped guys in spandex suit going poof, paff, and beating the bad guys, there's just nothing to see. That was just peak performance, and also the guest appearances when they climb any building was just lovely. Yes, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. It's, I mean, it's even funny 60 years later. Oh, I'm pretty sure somebody did that. Demons Up. I'd be highly surprised if nobody had thought of that, or even used commentary on the like shark repellent spray. Yep, does change the mood. That being said, that music does that either way, even if you not intend to be that extreme and funny. If you use different music on certain scenes, yes, white face paint on his mustache. Well, to be fair, if you think back and you would be sitting in front of your 60s television CRT monitor, you would never have noticed. You would never, even in close-ups, you would have never noticed that it was a painted-on mustache. That's only with modern television and modern displays that you can see. Okay, there's a mustache hiding behind that paint. I think I only found out 5 or 6 years ago, or when Dr. Faust did a paint up of a Cesar Romero like Joker miniature on screen. I dare to say it's even longer. Oh, I'm pretty sure on all TVs this must have been looking very nice. Let me see. I'm probably going to regret that. Oh no, I was quite on point with that. 1960s Joker, 5 years ago. What would you know? Oh, Demon's Up, there's a lot of threes that are missing. The third series for tripods, the third installment for Half-Life. The third good trilogy for Star Wars movies. I mean, you can talk. You can say about the BBC what you want, but the teams really did what they could with the budget they had. Well, yes, but no, but yes. I've come to the conclusion to myself that the prequels as movies themselves were not made for me, and therefore I was disappointed when they were shown on screen. But they do have a consistent story, they have consistent character building, and they are a closed arc of some kind, other than the weird conglomeration that is the sequels, that it seems to be somebody throwing dice on a what will happen next table. He's part 2 of Jason and the Argonauts. Wasn't that a closed story loop already? Don't know if there's a second movie in that. Oh, you know what? We could actually go for a movie that is Odysseus. What happens after his Odyssey, and just make him the poor husband who sits around at home is bored to death. Does it? Huh. I can't remember. I do remember that I've seen the movie, but I couldn't tell you the end of it to save my life. Welcome back, James, armed with beer, cheese, and Marmite on toast. Why would you put insects on your toast? Oh, Marmites, not termites. You didn't miss anything, I think. Probably, eventually, possibly. We talked about which Batman is the best. And since I haven't asked you at the start of the beginning, anybody doing any hobby actually, so that this at least has some resemblance of a hobby hangout? Or is this just me talking gobshite? Oh, we are not talking actors, but movies and times. Redverse is doing hobby. Good man. Demon Sub was building a Gundam early on. Good man. I presume that means he's finished by now, or you got bored because it's so easy. The best Batman is Del Boy. What? Yes, Stanley, dusting your model display counts as hobby totally. As the same as clearing your hobby space, reorganizing your models, and just making sure your shelves do not collapse. Nick is painting Ranger Infantry for the 20 Crusades. I might have heard of that game. Nightwolf is painting an old Amazon model from Grenadier, and Zoidpinhead is making Ajima Etruscans. Curse on their tiny heads. What? No, procrastination is something different, Redverse. Procrastination is sitting there and doing nothing. But if you are actually cleaning your hobby space, reorganizing your shelving, you're getting somewhere. And I know we've talked about this many moons ago. If you're in a hobby blockage and you don't have anything you want to do, that usually helps to straighten your mind on what you want to do. So that's not procrastination. The Lies of the Lucky Labora and wondering why there's no RPG. I have no clue what that is. I might just go and have a look, see if I can find a short summary that is not pestered by AI. Is a fantasy novel for the book Gentleman Bastard series. Okay. Okay. Well, that's something I never heard of. Are these available in German? Yes. Might take this on as a future read. A Wonky Goblin is trying to model a goblin trike. Well, good luck with that. You're way ahead of the game than I can hope ever to be. I've never heard of that book series, but I'm open for new stuff. And speaking of open, this one is empty. That's bad. This one is not empty. That's good. You go down. I know the camera won't pick it up, but this is looking like from one of these beer advertisements where there's all the condensation going on, and it's so refreshingly cold. Oh, it's so lovely cold. Oh, Demon's Up, now you've jinxed it. Now he's going to do a... who's that fella who still needs to write the final book in the Big Wong series? The Fiery Age of Ice and Sword Fight. What's the motherfucker called? Age of Ice and Fire by... ... Can't remember now. George R.R. Martin. Yes, that's the one, Redverse. Thank you. I'm guessing he still hasn't delivered the last book. No, not Kylie Minogue, Dick. You silly man. Kylie Minogue doesn't write books. At least I hope she doesn't. He's planned, but at least one came out 12 years ago, and the last one came out 12 years ago, and the fourth one has been rescheduled more times than she can count. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I wonder, does he even still want to finish the book series since people have butchered the TV series end, as far as I understand it? I've never finished watching that series. It just got too silly. Okay. Then I misread you. My apologies. But still, my question stands. If you were to be George R. R. Martin and your novels have been made into a TV series and then just blew past your own ending, would you still want to finish it? I'm not sure if all authors are dicks, but well. I think the problem with writing books is even if you manage to have a consistent quality over a certain story arc, you might just get bored and not wanted to finish them. But people want to finish the story, so two sides to the same coin. Or at least if the books themselves are self-contained, that's not as bad as having a continuous story that's basically open-ended if the last book never comes. I mean, look at Discworld. Those books are basically all self-contained, but they're much more fun in the broader spectrum of everything. I mean, witches, city guards, trolls. Who doesn't like trolls? And I'm not talking about internet trolls. I'm highly illiterate. I'm not sure who the other lad is you're talking about, but best to leave it at that. Scotty Lynch. But that's not somebody who does also movies, is it? That's somebody else, I think. I'm bad at what you call it names. Oh, that's the author of Locolamora. David Lynch, that's the other one. Oh, yes. It's the hour of day, the first can of beer, and the heat is finally getting to me. So, best not to do something. Speaking of best not to do something, a thing I always wanted to show you people out there. I'm not sure if this is going to work, so this is potentially going to go horribly wrong. I need to put you over there. And then we will start this. And hopefully the stream will not go all wanky bobbly. Go here, go there. So let's start desktop audio. Unmute yourselves. Why doesn't it unmute? No, there's. And now no, not that scam. Hold on a sec. We go here, and that's the wrong thingamajig. Yeah. So this is a game. I hope you still can hear me. Called SOVL. I'm not quite sure on what that abbreviation stands for. Currently, it's free on Steam. It's SOVL Fantasy Warfare. And basically, is it Soul? Well, could be Soul. What do I know? If you ever have played Warhammer Fantasy Battles or any other rank and file, this is the way to go for yourself. This is a very, very simple game. I've played it a few times. I still have not mastered it. I just wanted to show you how it looks. I'm not sure. Is the screen refreshing? You're still seeing the intro, or are you actually seeing gameplay? Just the menu. Hold on. Let's go here, go here. Oh, doesn't change. Why doesn't it change? Maybe I need to add... where do I go? No, not display game capture. Okay. There. So you're playing against the computer, so you have your setup phase, and yes, we're ready. Yes, we're confirming. And then you just play your game. And I really don't have any idea on what I'm doing here. So I'm just going here, and then go here, and yeah. Done. And he's going, whee! Done. Ah, see, so it's Sovel. Kinda, James. Demon's Up, Dark Omen, it's a wee bit different. Dark Omen was more like Total War. It was actually semi 3D. So yeah, Crispin is right. Dark Omen is a little bit more like Total War. I'm not going to go all the way here now. But as you can see, there's many things to do. And the DLC is not mandatory, so and it's still not a full release. So it's currently in 0.94. You can actually just download and try. And if you're happy, you might buy stuff later. But this has been something I wanted to show people for a long time, and I just forgot every time again. I don't think you need Goblin DLC, because there's goblins already in the game. We just played goblins. See, there's a little goblin. Empires of Man, green screen types, elves, dwarves, undead, abyssal, and with green screens you have goblins and goblins as a yes, you can't play without goblins. Yeah, see, so the White Lord is a very scallybob dude. The Knight is some kind of hot female in plot armor, and the Necromancer is even with a lot more plot armor. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show people at home, and it's really relaxing to play. I've already infested a coworker of mine, and he's at times very angry with me because he doesn't get enough sleep. Yeah, because he's just sitting at home playing 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, it's tiny file size because there's no 3D models in there. That's just some little artwork. I think you can play with the AI, James. I haven't tested that. There's so many options in there I haven't tried because lack of time. But it runs on on any old crap computer, so you don't need even a gaming PC for that. Who can hear all the gaming audio? There shouldn't be any audio. Oh, that's a gone again. Oh, Battle for West North. I think I've played that way years ago. Yes, Crispin. I'm on Steam. That's how I just could use that game. Crispin V wants to be friended on Steam. Let's see if that actually works. Copy, paste. Oh, I closed the Steam client. Where's the Steam client? But should we? Yes. Be Crispin, be the community hub. Drag a friend here for easy access. Where's the button for adding friends? There's the button for adding friends. Your friend code. No, I don't want a friend code. I want to search a friend. Hello, friend. There he is. Is that? Oh, that's a t-shirt, not a tea bag. Add as friend. Friend invite sent. Now we close Steam again. Steam again is closed. Well, you don't need to have a PC for Steam account. You can always use a ordinary web browser. And I'm not sure, but I think that would also run on a moderate tablet. But well, wonky. That's not my problem then, is it now, if your Steam is running behind your browser? Well, technical difficulties, but on the other side of the pond. Yeah, so this is I really, anybody who enjoys playing rank and file fantasy game and you don't want to leave your home, you don't want to paint miniatures, you just want to have a nice relaxing game, just have at it. It's fun. It's a nice little addictive thing. And if you're probably better than me at it by the end of the stream. Yeah, and it's a nice the fact that it's very small already is very compelling to me. Couldn't tell, Jill. I never played Warhammer Fantasy Battle as is, so I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's more or less the same, but who knows? Yeah, the friend who I infected it with, said it was very fantasy battle like, but your mileage may vary. It looks very similar, and let me put it this way: it plays like I think Warhammer Fantasy Battles did play back in the day. $753 games. Let me check. Hello, game library. Where you are, game library. I'm not sure if I'm at that higher number. 426. Plus all the games that are running on GOG, which are, thanks to Humble Bundle, and the what is it called? Humble Bundle and Amazon Prime games on Twitch. Final Liberation, Wonky Goblin. Yeah, the graphics are subpar by today's standards, but the gameplay still holds up. Yes, it's free until the day after tomorrow, I think, Jill, if I remember correctly. Civilization 6. Let me see what's behind the door number GOG. What does my 245. And for some odd reasons, 2 movies. No, never played EverQuest, Crispin. Most played game. I'm not even sure if I can find out how that's scaled. How that's sorted. Recent activity, no. Not sure how to find that. It must be in Skyrim or Fallout. Yeah, Fallout 4 currently sitting at 600 hours. That's the fun thing when you're playing games from the big internet lending library that's not on Steam. The hours are not recorded. I have dipped my toes into MacLeod, Crispin. It's an interesting game. But then again, that it's one of those games that really needs time and attention to be properly played. I think I played the demo. Oh, gee, I get that. And to be fair, playtime would be a exaggeration because I think most time I spent in Fallout 4 was building bases. That's just a part I really, really dug, and I made huge bases, rebuilding every settlement to a degree that's insane. 1700 hours total war too. Mate, how do you even accomplish anything? Fallout 4, the random collecting simulator. And the only reason why you really need the power armor is so that you can carry more shit. And that's also the only reason why you need to take on a companion on your quest, because they carry also more shit. But everything gets easier once you've established the settlement connection routes. At that point, uh, you usually have enough of everything. Oh yes, Minecraft. That's another time sink. I never somehow got sunk into, but I really like it. Fallout London. No, haven't downloaded it. I've seen it and I like the idea, but never ventured into it. Yeah, James, there's a Fallout London fan DLC. It's It's not official. I'm not sure if it's just London. I think it will be just London and maybe surrounding areas, but don't quote me on that. Dan Lee, London, not Longdong. Wasn't there also a Fallout Hawaii or something? I feel that there's another that's still in the works. What's it called? Was it Hawaii? I hate it when I forget names. What was the bloody thing called? It wasn't Fallout Hawaii. Was it Fallout London? Oh, fucking hell. Oh, this is going to be Raven. Fallout Miami. That's the one. Fallout Miami. Yeah, Crispin, you should be looking at those kinds of reminders. Don't look at how long people have been offline. So Fallout Miami is basically what it says on the tin. It's not released yet, and they've been in development for 6 years now. Nick, Far Cry. My favorite Far Cry title is Blood Dragon. Does anybody know a company that prints custom playing cards that isn't mega expensive? Nope, I don't. Depending on quantities you want, you might not want to look into actual playing cards. Try looking for digital printing services that do greeting cards and small runs of postcards and stuff. They usually have a very cheap option of printing stuff, so that might be a way to go. Yeah, Demon Blood Dragon is. I just love it because it's so not taking itself seriously. It's just an homage to anybody who loves 80s movies, and it's just great. Darktide. I think I have Darktide somewhere because it was free with something. I mean, the actual final the final boss fight is just beyond silly. There's just not enough days in the week to do all the lovely playing and hobbying, I think. Oh, hang on. Whilst you talks about yourselves, I need to start up something here. If this even still works. Oh, fans ramping up. Computer getting busy. Need to close this. And I need to go here. Boom. Oh, this is going to be fun. Yes. So, it's that time of the show. And by that, I mean, it's when my bladder is telling me, old man, you need to stop. Literally 0 to almost no hobby content today, which is, well, fine by me. Guess we'll see how that works on YouTube. Not that I care. I'm going to try to be in the Hangout. No promises, though. Daughter is going to have a long day tomorrow having fun activities, and we might have some video evening. I will try to be there. I need to get my painting comp thingamajig ready and done so that I can take a picture and put it into the forums. So yes, I will try to be here at 8 o'clock something around that. It is game over, man. Game over. Thank you a lot for being here and listening to me rambling. Hope that next week Jerry will be finally back, not asleep in his comfy chair or where he stays. If anything needs to be talked about or you want to get something off your chest, feel free to hit me up on Discord, email, forums, whatever. We will see each other again next week, probably. High likely, unless heavens fall down on my head or something. I'm rambling. Goodbye.